Hey guys, hope you all have been well and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a weight loss related one, so if you're interested in this makeup look, go ahead and head over to Instagram. First link in the description box down below. Now this video is catered to those of us that go to the gym but do so with an injury. It's very common to go to the gym with an injury, a strain, a sprain, you name it, but you got to put the work in. So these are just some tips on how I go about my gym workouts given the injury that I have. For those of you that don't know, I do have a herniated disc that I got, I believe, a year out of college, and upon going to the doctor, I also found that I had scoliosis, which I didn't know I had till I was an adult, but it does kind of make my herniated disc, like the symptoms and pains that I get, a little bit worse because of just how my back is. It's not straight, and I'm missing some cushion. Oh, and I forgot to mention that my herniation is, I think, L4, L5, so my lower back. So my first tip is to stretch. Stretching in the morning is what I do every single morning for the past, I don't know how many years, for about 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how much time I have, and also whether or not I do need a little bit more of a stretch. Sometimes I'm a little bit more tight than other days, so it really depends. And I do a mixture of like Pilates, yoga, and just like regular stretches, and I make sure that I stretch from head to toe. And I never used to be a firm believer of stretching, but since stretching on a daily basis, I do notice a difference between when I do stretch and when I don't, because sometimes I just forget I got to do something in the morning, and then I'm like, my body doesn't feel right. So you just feel a lot more prepared for your workout, and the flexibility that you have in your movement, it's very noticeable. Be sure to stretch out, and if you can, go on a roller. It feels amazing. Foam rollers are some of the best inventions ever. It's painful when you do it, but the release that you get after rolling out, it's priceless, priceless. Now, when you're at the gym, there's a couple things that I feel is key to a successful workout in the case that you're not going to injure yourself further, or you're not going to put injury on any other place in your body. And the first thing to do is to get your form down. If you have form down, the chances of injury does significantly decrease because your body is set and ready to handle weights or movement or whatever equipment that you're using in a way that will prevent you from hurting yourself. So a good tip that I like to do is always use a mirror to see that your body is where it's supposed to be, and it's something that you get down with time. You're not going to get it the first time around, but the more frequently that you do it, the more easier it comes. Sometimes you feel as if your body is in the right position, and then you look and you're like, that's not right. Make sure that you're setting yourself up before you get into a rep or a set. If you're starting out at the gym, I think that's where you need to start. Don't worry about how much weight you're trying to carry. Don't worry about how many reps you're doing. Focus on your form and making sure that it's exactly what it needs to be, and use that on an every single day basis or every single workout so that your body remembers how it's supposed to be, so that you're preventing further injury. The next tip is to make sure that you engage your core. Core. And I learned this through my physical therapy as well as beginning Pilates. I still do Pilates. I gotta do it. It's like the most relieving, but also like strengthening and just calming type of exercise that I get in the week, and I just make sure that my body is balanced. And I practice it not only through workouts but in everyday life. If I'm gonna pick up something, I engage your core, suck and tuck, pelvic muscle up. It's become a habit already, and I have taught other people, my mom included, like firm believer that if you use your core, the other parts of your body that compensates for, not using it, it doesn't hurt as much. So for me, my injury is on my back. So if I lift something, whether it's at home or at the gym, if I don't remember to engage my core, I feel the pain in my back. I feel the strain on it. Once I engage my core, it's almost as if it's alleviated like 100%. because you're using your core to kind of help support where your injury is. So if you're doing a workout and you're getting your form down, make sure that your core is a part of that. And that kind of setup, I almost guarantee that it's going to be a successful set or a successful rep. Use the core. Notice the significant difference when you lift from here as opposed to the back. It's a world of difference. Another tip is to use a slower pace in your reps. Some people do like to go hard at the gym and they're just like rah, 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 rah. When you have an injury, it's not as smart to do that. If you're not focusing on how your body is moving and how that affects your injury, you're going to potentially hurt it even more. But also be more mindful of the muscles that you're using, and with that, the muscles that you are using in a certain workout will be strengthened and then therefore will compensate for the injury that you have. So if you go at a slower pace and have more purpose in your movements, you're really engaging and telling yourself, okay, this is the muscle group I'm supposed to be using. Make sure that you're using that muscle group, going slow and feeling the actual workout. Those muscles will strengthen. And therefore, if you have an injury, you're building the muscles around it to compensate for the injury that's there. I had the option to get surgery, but was recommended that, hey, you're still functioning very well. The doctor was actually surprised that I function as much as I do, given the injury that I had. And he was like, look, if you continue losing weight, because I had an MRI years after, this was when I started my weight loss process. If you continue on your path, continue to strengthen yourself, work at strengthening your body, this should be no problem. Like, you can go years upon years not needing surgery. And I was like, doc, you got it. Yes. So take it easy. Make sure that you're doing it right. Make sure that you're doing it with purpose. Your body will get stronger and it will take care of you, even with your injury. Now, another tip that kind of goes with going at a slower pace is to use weights. If you are using weights, use weights that's challenging, but not so much so to where it takes away the focus of getting the reps down properly. Sometimes when you're stringing to get a rep down, all the form and the core and all of that engagement kind of goes out the window because you don't want to drop this weight. You need to just finish the rep. And I'm guilty of that. I've done it before where it's like, oh, I want to lift this amount. It's my goal. And then you like start twisting and moving your body just to get it up there. And it's like, and then you're left with, oh, I could have hurt myself, or this kind of hurts a little bit. Your Superman or Wonder Woman moment will come eventually. Just make sure that you've got everything down to a T before you challenge yourself that much. Another tip is to always ask for help if you don't know what the heck you're doing. I'm pretty sure that someone in the gym is willing to help you. It may not be the most comfortable thing, especially when you're beginning to be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing at the gym. But everyone starts somewhere. At one point, everyone didn't know how to use something. So ask for help when you need it. It's not embarrassing. And having people show you visually how to do it really helps you understand what you're supposed to do. Also, don't be afraid to ask questions when they're showing you. So if, let's say you're learning how to use the shoulder press, which muscles are you supposed to engage? What's a good rest period? What do you suggest is a good weight for a beginner? And that way you can be sure that you're probably not going to hurt yourself because you're not guessing about how to use the machine. If you do have a back injury and you're starting out with the gym, I highly recommend using equipment that has back support, front or back support, depending on what kind of machine that you're using. Free weights, I tend to leave for later on when my form is down packed. So now I go back and forth with, back supported equipment as well as free weights. The back support that I would get not only helps with the pressure on my back, it also helps with your form. So when you're used to sitting your body upright on a machine. Naturally, the more you use the machine, the more your body remembers the way it's supposed to be, the form it's supposed to be in. So once you use actual free weights, your body naturally knows, okay, I'm supposed to be this way for this type of workout. Even if it's not back support, any type of support in general that you can have, even using a Smith machine if you're new to using a barbell, any type of guided machine that you can use as a beginning tool to help you focus on the form and not risk further injury because you're not used to going to the gym. Even the pros use supported equipment at the gym. It's no big deal. There's no shame in it. Use it. It's there, and it's there to help. The last tip I have is for cardio. I found out that with my injury, putting pressure on my spine does not help me at all. So I'm not able to run. Jumping jacks hurt, even burpees hurt. Like I can feel a little pinch in my back. And that has a lot to do with, gravity pushing down when you're, bouncing on the pavement or on a treadmill, jump ropes, anything to do with going this type of motion. And if you do have a back injury like I do, I suggest a couple of these cardio ideas. The first thing is swimming. Swimming is probably the best form of cardio I would suggest because you're basically floating and there's no gravity at all. You don't gotta worry about nothing, and it's fun and it's relaxing and you're not sweating. If you want to use the treadmill and make sure that you get quite a good burn, I would suggest hitting that incline to the maximum and using like a more faster, more brisk walk type of speed. And that usually gets the heart pumping really good, but you're still challenging yourself because of that incline. Another machine to look into is the elliptical. It mimics running, but there's no bounce on it. It's kind of like a more consistent movement, and so there's no pressure on the spine, and in turn you don't feel it on your back. If you can handle a Stairmaster and go at a slower pace, it's kind of like using the treadmill at an incline. Try both out, see which one you like. Also, if you just want to chillax, sit down, not really have to do the cardio from a standing position, try a spin bike. If your gym has it, try a spin bike. There's also, I don't know what machine this is called. My coach told me what it was and I forgot, but it's basically like a bike and you punch at the same time. And if you can, rowing machine. If you don't want to go as fast, I suggest hitting the resistance up a little bit, and so it's more like form focused. Be more conscious of what you're doing and making sure that before you pull and you go back, everything is done with the correct form. And those are all the tips that I'm going to share with you for today. If I think of any more, I will probably list it down in the comments below or in the description box. Again, if you guys like this makeup look, be sure to check me out on Instagram. Link will be the first one down below. All the makeup products will be listed there for you to check out if you like this makeup look. Also, if you enjoyed this video and have not done so already, go ahead and click the red subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. And until the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.